This is Overwatch 2. We're here on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is obviously the free-to-play iteration of Overwatch that took over for the original version of Overwatch, which, is kind of the same, but with some big changes that weren't necessarily things that fans of Overwatch were super huge on, but I thought we would come and take a look at it and talk about it here on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So it's a game that continues to get updated, but not as fast as Marvel Rivals does. Anyways, yeah, you've got your selection of heroes, a never-ending selection of new kind of like content, maps get added, some new heroes very slowly get added, and different game modes. The game is focused around objective-based play, where you are pushing objectives or capturing or interacting with them in certain ways, and that's a large portion of what this game is all about when it comes to competing. And while we don't necessarily have like a full upgrade for this on the platform, it's not really needed, I guess you would say, but we do benefit from the fact that there's obviously resolution scaling in effect across the different modes. So this is your, wow, I can't actually believe I got hit from there. This is your resolution mode, so this is like kind of a balance, but, well, it's not balanced because there is a balance mode, but your resolution mode is basically targeting 4K. So it's a dynamic 4K. It was relatively close to being a full 4K, but it wasn't fully there with the base PlayStation 5 in some situations, so we should actually be getting pretty much a clear 4K at this point. And then we've got two other graphical modes. One of them really doesn't... Why would you run away from your teammate healing you? One of them doesn't really do much, but obviously we showcase it, talk about it, and there's HDR support too. So under the video section we have resolution, balance, and frame rate. So we go to balance mode, and balance mode is basically like a 1440p at 60 FPS. It really, a logic, like, to me there's no logic in why it exists. It might be like, I guess, a bit of a backward compatible type mode in the sense that that's the reason why it's even in here, but I do not get the point of it. You're basically just choosing to have a lower resolution, less good looking game, so I literally don't understand why this is included in this at all, but it is a mode that is available, and because it is a mode that is available, I will obviously showcase it off, right, because that's what we're here to talk about. Then if you change and you go to the frame rate mode, which I really quite like, VR is going to kick in and it'll be back. So this is also dynamic. It's slightly less of a threshold than 1440p, if that makes sense. Like it's just like slightly less of a upper bounds than 1440p. So it's like, I think it's like 1300 or something like that. Whereas interestingly, the Series X version actually does do 1440 for this mode. But anyways, yeah. So this is a little bit more capped off, but you get 120 FPS. So a nice bit of a trade-off, and then of course kind of maxing out the resolution, and then getting, on top of that, the smoother frame rate. This is a very good way to play this game, I would say, especially if you are competing. If you're taking this as a very competitive game, higher frame rate makes a big difference, especially for a shooter. At least I think so. It's pretty great to have. So I would recommend going with this mode. I think you are fine, especially if you don't have if you don't have a TV that supports 120 FPS. Your 4K 60 mode is kind of the way to go. And honestly, like for this game, I think 4K 60 is fine. But if you are competing, as to say, man, they really nerfed her explosion thing. That was so sad back in the day when they first did that. It's like, it doesn't do anything. Once upon a time, that bomb that you drop as Tracer would have actually killed that entire other team there. Bit of a shame. So yeah, I would say you should definitely play with the high frame rate mode if that's available to you, just because it gives you the fluidity. From what? From where? Was I poisoned? What? what was that? Is that new? I don't remember being able to die like that. That's what? It's like a Black Widow kind of thing or something. That's really weird. I don't remember that ever being an attack thing you can face off or have happen to you from an enemy. Wow, that was a good shot from there. Wow, that really just took me right out there. But the match is pretty fast-paced, vibrant, colorful, aesthetic. The game basically looks the same too, no matter how you kind of go about it in terms of like style. Like Overwatch has a very distinct art direction to it, which helped it really be quite popular for so long. Obviously, it's just in recent times that Overwatch has, well, basically Overwatch 2 that's kind of lowered its profile. We'd lost. Oh, well, we're gonna have to go into another match then, I guess. Yeah, I've joined into whatever scenario is going on here for this squad. And basically like the same type of setup, which is interesting. But yeah, you got a bunch of different abilities, all your different kind of teammates. They all sort of impact the game in their own ways, and depending on the mode, whether it's like ranked or more casual, you like change up your hero options, and you know that'll make a difference when you're playing on the matches too. Is like who counters who and who does what. And just have tank players. I believe they're also supposed to be doing some more classic revitalizations for this game too, which will be interesting to see. You know how that impacts the gameplay as well. And of course, if they add anyone else down the road, it's interesting. It's a game that's definitely had and enjoyed really great longevity. You know, like I said, it's been around forever, right? At this point, like it really does feel like it's been around for a very, very long time. And your mileage is going to vary based on how interested you are in really getting into this game at this point. Because it is pretty established as competitive, and people take it intensely, and yeah, it's definitely an interesting game. Like, I find it fun and enjoyable. Like, it's definitely got some quick competitive fun action to it, which makes it accessible and neat, and you know, all the different character quirks. But it's also like, I don't know, we've seen lots of other games arrive too that are, you know, similar in terms of competitiveness. They nerfed her like bomb thing so badly. Like, other people seem totally fine with it, but like it is literally a worthless ability now. That bomb is like, because like when you're playing Tracer, you're like, your goal is like annoy, but you do relatively minimal damage and you don't take much damage. And your bomb was supposed to be you kind of having that one little thing that allowed you to do a lot of damage. And now it's just worthless. It's bothered me for actually probably years at this point, honestly. It just ruins a big asset the Tracer has to use. It's kind of annoying. It's why I don't play this anymore. Nah, just because there's so many other games, right? I don't mind Overwatch as well. Like, it's, as I said, relatively enjoyable. It's fun, it's easy going. But, you know, that's quite enough now. Like I said, there's all this different competition that exists now out there. Ooh! What? Didn't I just kill Tracer? Oh, this is a different character. Okay, I was like, this looks like Tracer just teleported behind me. I was like, back from the grave? That's a new one. Actually, I don't know if I've seen that character before. I have been out of the game a bit. I think the last time I really checked this out was when they did the current gen graphical upgrade for it, which was the next gen update at the time. Otherwise, there really hasn't been a point to dive back into this for me. It's because I'm not that into it. I joined a match really late in progress there, I will say. Okay, just another lobby. Alright, the battle begins really intensely. Oh yeah, this is the one where it's basically Overwatch D-Day. At least that's what it feels like. Yeah, you know, it is weird. I genuinely thought that the launch of Overwatch 2 was going to be like this sort of thing where it's a game where I would be streaming it long term and quite often, and then like it just sort of really fell flat really fast. Don't know how to describe it. Like all the excitement and the hype just like vanished instantly. I don't even know anybody that actually like plays this actively either. Not hating on it, again, like, I think it's actually a really well put together, competent shooter, and I get the style and why it's so enjoyed by so many, but gotta say the Overwatch 2 relaunch didn't really do the game a lot of favors in terms of growth and that, especially in the long term. But hey, it's still a really good looking game, I will say that, visually and stuff, nailed the aesthetics. I guess they could theoretically go for a pro mode if they wanted to and just, you know, bumped up the resolution for this high performance mode. Theoretically they could do that, but you know, probably diminishing returns on that sort of offering. It would be cool though. I'd definitely come back and take a look at it for that. I still don't quite get the whole you know, balanced mode. It's really bizarre to me because like I don't really know what you get out of that. Yeah, it's basically like stick someone and partially kill them if they're tank, or if not, your bomb just does nothing as Tracer. I will complain about this forever. But yeah, I usually play a pretty professional and proficient Tracer. It's like, cheers, love, the cavalry's here. A lot of really distinct costumes I'm seeing, but then again, I think the player base that's left are the ones that probably buy the distinct costumes, right? Actually, all my stuff's on the Xbox side of things. That's really why I don't have much fancy things going on. I guess I could have maybe... No, I don't know if that has that kind of progressional stuff. I'd have to look into that. I'm also indifferent towards it, honestly. A frenzy of intense particle effects and explosions. It really is quite chaotic, isn't it? Oh, but her ability kills everyone on the map. See, like, look at this. This is ridiculous. Tank, strong, takes lots of damage, has a secondary thing, and the nuke basically blows up, like, everyone. And Tracer's thing is, like, this paltry, sad depression ability. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Now my ability sure didn't get used there. Yeah, I guess there are some new character faces and stuff. Definitely some different cosmetics. It is funny because it's like, it really feels like it's been ages since I've been back in this. But yet it also feels like I've just been playing this because I've been playing Marvel Rivals. Because they're like practically the same. Another similar one, Paladins. I haven't heard about Paladins in forever. See, practically no damage at all. Where did the character in the suit go? You know, like the person that goes within the suit. At least the community's still alive and well. There's, you know, finding matches really quick, which is good. can't believe how actually old this game is. Now that I'm thinking of it, it's not like a being negative towards it either thought. It's just this game has had some crazy longevity going on. Another loss, and the battle wages on and on. As I say, though, fast matches. Sometimes it can be a little grueling, but you know, for the most part, it's really quite swift. I think that's what people like so much. Fast, not a crazy time commitment, easy to pick up team play, simple game mode objectives. They can be pretty intense. I am curious how this one will continue to go as time goes on as well. If it'll continue to like evolve and keep competitive or sort of flop aside. Because it's weird, like for a game that was like the amount that you had to pay for this game and how successful this game was many years ago. It is interesting that going for a fight for more players, a larger audience actually, I would say kind of damaged it a bit in terms of its stance and where it was in the industry. I kind of wanted to stick the sniper because I probably would have killed the sniper. Again, in an earlier time, that bomb would have killed every single character in that area. All of them. They would have all died. Now my health is back up. They got like passive healing now? I remember that being a thing. Now I just gotta wait for this countdown timer to go through. We're destroying these guys. I need more health. It's not bad at all. I think even the resolution drops you probably don't notice as much because of the aesthetic in this one. But it is like, you know, obviously you can't notice the drop between the full 4K mode and then going to the 120 FPS mode. But I think the frame rate really makes up for that if you are, again, competitively playing this. This place looks very dystopian, I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, where did I get smoke from? Unbelievable. Also, I don't know how us just endlessly killing each other saves the world, but you know, the comics and stuff probably explain that. There's many forms of media for Overwatch. It was, it's still a pretty big deal. Like seriously, the amount of sales this game actually had when it was premium, pretty incredible. Seriously, like genuinely incredible that it was able to achieve that back in the day. So anyways, Overwatch 2. It's pretty decent, solid, but I don't know. I'm playing mostly other stuff these days, but it was nice to come back in, revisit it, talk about it, how it looks a little bit sharper on the PlayStation 5 Pro, which is great if you're a fan, and otherwise, you know, that's kind of about it.